Hello, everyone. Welcome to the series on 50 slang words and advanced words in English. I'm so excited to start this adventure with you. Hopefully, this should be an interesting video that really helps you boost your language skills. Alright, let's dive right in. And by the end, you'll have a fresh set of expressions to use in your conversations. Our first slang word is lit. It means something is really exciting or cool. For example, the party last night was lit. Have you ever been to a lit event? Let me know in the comments. Next, we have salty. It means being upset or bitter about something. For instance, he was salty after losing the game. Ever felt salty about something? It happens to the best of us. Moving on, let's talk about ghost. This means to suddenly cut off all communication with someone. For example, she ghosted me after our second date. Not the nicest thing to do, right? But it's a common slang word nowadays. Now, here's a fun one: GOAT. It stands for greatest of all time. You could say, Michael Jordan is the GOAT of basketball. Who do you think is the GOAT in your favorite sport or job? And what about throw shade? It means to subtly insult or criticize someone. Like, she was throwing shade at him during the meeting. Ever seen someone throw shade at a party or at work? Let's keep the energy up. Next up is low-key. It means something is done quietly or secretly. For instance, I'm low-key a fan of reality TV shows. What's something you're low-key a fan of? Let's hear it in the comments. How about flex? It means to show off, like, he's always flexing his new car. Do you like to flex sometimes? It's okay to celebrate yourself once in a while. Next, we have tea. This means gossip or juicy information. You might say, spill the tea, what happened at the party? Everyone loves hearing the tea sometimes, right? Here's another popular one: extra. It means someone is being overly dramatic. For example, she's so extra with her reactions. We all know someone who's extra, don't we? Another fun slang word is vibe. It refers to the mood or atmosphere of a place or person. You might say, this cafe has such a chill vibe. What's a place you think has the best vibe? Let's do a quick overview of what we've learned so far. 1. Lit. 2. Salty. 3. Ghost. 4. Goat. 5. Throw shade. 6. Low-key. 7. Flex. 8. Tea. 9. Extra. 10. Vibe. Alright. How are we doing so far? If you're learning something new, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe. We've got so much more to cover. Let's keep going. Our next slang word is savage. It means someone is brutally honest or fierce. For example, her comeback was savage. Have you ever heard a savage comment that left everyone speechless? Next up is stan. This is when someone is an obsessive fan of something or someone. For instance, I stan that new artist, she's amazing. Is there someone or something you stan? Moving on, woke. It means being aware of social issues and injustices. You might hear, he's so woke about politics. It's become a powerful word lately, hasn't it? Now, let's talk about clap back. This means to respond aggressively to criticism. For example, she clapped back at the haters online. Have you ever witnessed a savage clap back on social media? Another one we hear a lot is bae. It stands for before anyone else and refers to someone's significant other. You could say, she's spending the weekend with her bae. What cute nicknames do you use? And now we have slay. It means to do something really well. For instance, she slayed that presentation. Who do you know that's always slaying their job or goals? Let's talk about ship. This means to support a romantic relationship between two people. For example, I totally ship them as a couple. What's a couple from a movie or show that you ship? Now, here's adulting. It refers to doing grown-up tasks like paying bills or getting jobs. You might say, I'm tired of adulting today. Isn't adulting exhausting sometimes? Next, we have squad. This refers to a group of close friends. For instance, I'm hanging out with my squad this weekend. Who's part of your squad? So, to quickly overview the next set of slang words. 11. Savage. 12. Stan. 13. Woke. 14. Clap back. 15. Bay. 16. Slay. 17. Ship. 18. Adulting. 19. Squad. Are you keeping up? I hope this is helping you truly become fluent in English. These words are so common in everyday conversations, and mastering them will make you sound even more natural. Let's continue with basic. This means something is unoriginal or mainstream. For example, that pumpkin spice latte is so basic. Have you ever heard someone call something basic? Next up, we have bougie. This slang describes something or someone fancy or high class. For example, she's acting all bougie with her new designer bag. Do you know anyone who loves to act bougie? And here's one you'll definitely hear a lot: FOMO. It stands for fear of missing out. You could say, I didn't go to the party and now I have major FOMO. Have you ever had FOMO after skipping a fun event? Moving on, we have shook. It means to be really surprised or shocked. For instance, I was so shook when I heard the news. Can you think of a time when something left you completely shook? Next, let's talk about binge watch. This is when you watch multiple episodes of a show back to back. Like, I binge watched the entire series over the weekend. Have you ever binge watched a show? I'm actually a fan of binge watching myself. Now, here's a fun one: mood. It's used to say you relate to something. For example, if someone's cozy in bed on a rainy day, you might say, that's a mood. What's your current mood right now? Next up, swerve. This means to avoid something or someone. You might say, I had to swerve that awkward conversation. Ever needed to swerve out of a tricky situation? It's all about self-preservation sometimes. Let's keep things rolling with throwback. This refers to something nostalgic from the past. Like, here's a throwback to when we were kids. What's a throwback memory that makes you smile? Let's talk about slaps. This means something is really good, especially music. For example, that song slaps. What's a song you've been listening to that slaps lately? Okay, let's do a quick overview of the slang we've learned so far. 20. Basic. 21. Bougie. 22. FOMO. 23. Shook. 24. Binge watch. 25. Mood. 26. Swerve. 27. Throwback. 28. Slaps. How's everyone doing? If you're enjoying this, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe. Next up, we have thirsty. It means someone is desperate for attention. For example, he's been posting all those selfies because he's thirsty for likes. Have you ever seen someone being extra thirsty on social media? Now, here's another fun one snatched. It means something looks really good or well put together. You might say, her outfit was snatched last night. When was the last time you saw a snatched look and thought, wow? Next is catch feelings. This means to start developing romantic emotions for someone. Like, I didn't expect to catch feelings, but I totally did. Have you ever caught feelings for someone when you least expected it? Another one you should know is JOMO, the opposite of FOMO. It stands for joy of missing out, meaning you're perfectly happy staying in while others are out. For instance, I had serious JOMO while everyone else was out partying. Do you ever feel JOMO on a cozy night in? And we can't forget Gucci. It means something is good or going well. Like, don't worry, everything's Gucci. Ever been in a situation where things were just Gucci, smooth sailing all the way? Now let's talk about high key. This is the opposite of low key. It means being very open or obvious about something. You might say, I'm high-key excited for the weekend. What's something you're high-key excited about? Next, we have vibing. It means enjoying or feeling the mood of something. For instance, we were just vibing to some good music all night. Have you been vibing lately? Let me know in the comments. Another fun one is bet. It means you agree with something or are confident about it. For example, you think you'll win the game? Bet. Ever used bet in a conversation? Here's cap or no cap. It means someone is lying or telling the truth. You might say, he said he's a millionaire, but that's cap. Or, I'm serious no cap. It's a cool way to call someone out, right? Let's do another quick overview of the next set of slang words. 29, thirsty. 30, snatched. 31, catch feelings. 32, JOMO. 33, Gucci. 34, high key. 35, vibing. 36, bet. 37, cap/no cap. You're doing great. I hope you're finding these words cool and useful. Next slang word is glow up. This means a significant transformation, usually for the better. For example, she had such a glow up after high school. Ever experienced a glow up yourself? Let me know in the comments. Next, we have cringe. This word is used when something is awkward or embarrassing. Like, that joke was so cringe. Have you ever witnessed something super cringe? Now, let's talk about sus. It's short for suspicious. You could say, his story sounds kinda sus. Ever been in a situation where something seemed sus? It's a handy word to describe sketchy situations. Moving on, we've got wig. This means being shocked or amazed, almost like your mind was blown. For example, that performance was so good, wig. Have you ever watched something that made you go, wig? Next, we have clout. This means influence or power, especially online. You might hear, he's just doing it for the clout. Ever seen someone chase clout on social media? Alright, let's get into on fleek. This means something is perfectly done, especially with style. For example, her makeup is on fleek today. Is there something you've seen lately that was totally on fleek? Next up is yeet. It's an exclamation used when throwing something or expressing excitement. For instance, he yeeted the ball across the field. Ever had a moment where you just had to yeet something? Here's a fun one, throwing hands. This means getting into a physical fight. Like, if he keeps pushing me, we're throwing hands. Hopefully, none of you have to throw hands anytime soon. Let's do a quick overview of the slang we've covered so far. 38. Glow up. 39. Cringe. 40. Seuss. 41. Wig. 42. Clout. 43. On fleek. 44. Yeet. 45. Throwing hands. Then we have TBT, which stands for Throwback Thursday. It's used when you post an old photo or memory, usually on social media. For instance, here's a TBT to my trip last year. What's a TBT you'd love to share? Next, we have dead. It's used when something is so funny you feel like you're dead from laughing. For example, that meme was so funny, I'm dead. Ever seen a meme that made you feel dead from laughter? Moving on, we've got receipts. This means proof or evidence, usually in a text or screenshot. You might say, show me the receipts if you think she said that. Ever had to pull out the receipts in an argument? Okay, time for another quick overview of what we've learned. 46. TBT. 47. Dead. 48. Receipts. Now, let's talk about big yikes. This is used when something is super embarrassing or cringe-worthy. For example, his speech was a big yikes. Ever been in a situation that made you think, big yikes? Another one is Finsta. This refers to a fake Instagram account where people post more private or unfiltered content. You might hear, she posted it on her Finsta, not her main account. Do you have a Finsta? No need to spill that tea here. Let's do another quick overview of what we've just covered. 49. Big yikes. 50. Finsta. Before we wrap up, if you have any questions, you can comment below. I'd love to help you out, and I'm always a fan of seeing your progress. Let me know which slang words you've loved the most. Thanks for sticking with me through this entire adventure. I hope you feel even more comfortable using them in your conversations. Bye.